Hello everyone, good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Welcome to Bhinneka Online Toastmaster Club meeting. We're going to start the meeting, but first I would like to announce our housekeeping rules. First of all, we encourage you to check internet connections, cameras, microphones, charging devices, and adjust your devices proportionally compared to your body height so that your face and your upper body can be seen clearly. Please keep in mind that we are in a professional but supportive environment of Toastmasters International meetings. We want to present ourselves the best we can. Be punctual is appreciated. Please mute or turn off your microphone unless you are speaking. Let's minimize distractions and appreciate people who are speaking. In the event of emergency, the host can mute the participants. Please turn on your camera when you can because we want to see smiles. And you are welcome to show gestures such as thumbs ups, nodding, clapping, and etc. And you can also use the symbol of clapping and all of the symbols on your screen. And then try to look at your camera when delivering a speech because remember, you're talking to your camera, not to your screen. And also remember to look for the timer and pay attention to the time. Today's timer is Fifi, and you will get to know her later. Last but not least is when you want to refer to somebody, please call out the name first and then start talking after that. And if you want to see everyone, you can switch your view to view gallery and then after that, speaker gallery, if you want to see a spotlight of somebody speaking. Then please welcome our acting president today to open the meeting, our VPE, Ben Whitaker.
Yeah. Hello, I am Benjamin Whitaker, the VPE of Bhinneka Online Toastmasters Club. Thank you all for coming. And this is definitely a different type of meeting where we're going to be getting some education, which most meetings, hopefully you do learn something. But today we have two special speakers, our president of Bhinneka Bali Toastmasters, Distinguished Toastmaster Natali Tjahjadi, and Distinguished Toastmaster Alicia Curtis. So hopefully you guys all have your thinking caps and listening ears on because this is going to be very influential for all of you contest participants. That is what we're here for. This is the season where Toastmasters gets a little bit more competitive than the rest of the year. And we do encourage all of you in every club that you're in to try. One, it's free and little competition never hurt anybody, right? It's a good experience and we'll talk more about that throughout the meeting and definitely at the end for a little bit of peer pressure to join the contests. But thank you all for coming. I'm going to hand it back over to our lovely distinguished Toastmaster Pipit.
Thank you. Okay, so I have a privilege to introduce our first speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, this person is someone who has been around so much during the pandemic, visiting many clubs from many different parts of the world, leaving a trail of achievements: best table topic speaker, best evaluator, best prepared speaker. Actually, people are tired of seeing her win, okay, to be honest with you. But that's not even the best part about her that I really like. She's very generous in sharing her knowledge and also her insights from her experience about public speaking, about contests. Today's actually the evidence. She's very generous and she has a lot of mentees and she actually invests a lot of time to mentor them. So her mentorship is very well sought after. So I'm privileged to welcome our first speaker of the night, Distinguished Toastmaster Natali Tjahjadi.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I'm just checking because I use earphone. Awesome. Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for having me in this lovely education session. It's a contest season in Toastmasters. So I want to hear some hype, you know, if you're interested in joining contests, or if you're like Benny who have won contests. So give me some okay in the chat box so I can see some reactions from you. Okay. Thank you. And today I want to share a little bit about strategies for international speech contests. First of all, I would like everyone to mute themselves if they're not speaking, because I got some feedback noise right now. So thank you, some host, if you can help me. And today I would like, in the next maybe 20 minutes, I would like to share about why we should join contests, about speech crafting and speech delivery. Those are some strategies related to international speech contests. If you want to participate, if you want to join as a contestant, if you want to go further to maybe area level or division level, but it's start from one speech. So first, I would like to share with you, and I would like to ask you, are you interested in joining a speech contest? You can type your response in the chat box, yes or no. Let me see, yes, 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 yes. Okay, from Seni to Melanie, Imelda, Jeffrey, everyone is interested in joining speech contests. Now, I would like to ask you, why do you want to join a speech contest? Type in the chat box. To challenge myself, excellent, Fifi. To break my limitation, great. To practice and improve, yes, totally. Looking for experience, definitely, Desan. Representing my club, whoa, Elios. And then Marendra Dika, witness myself deliver it, absolutely. Oh my gosh, Pinghendra, compete with the legend. Thank you, brother. Melanie, challenge myself, inspire other club members to try. Amazing, that's great. Okay, so you come with many different motivation or many different intention, many different reasons. But the goal is the same, to compete and if possible, to win the speech contest. This is what I believe. If you're just staying in your comfort zone, then you will never see magic, because magic happens outside of your comfort zone. So your why is very important. It's very essential in determining how far you can go along in your contest journey. So you should be very clear with why you want to join a contest, because that will determine how much effort, how much time, and how much energy that you're willing to commit to follow through. One of the greatest motivational speakers, Les Brown, once said that when your why is big enough, you will find your how. And today, just by joining this education session, it's one of the how to support your why. So when your why is big enough, you will always find your how. If your motivation is just to challenge yourself, to try competing in an online speech contest, to just improve your confidence, all are valid reasons. That is your why. You should value that. And then the how will appear after. What you need to do is to put in time and effort, committed yourself to it, to the cause. It might seem like, it's so hard climbing up all of these mountains. It's like pushing a rock into the mountain. But don't worry, in Toastmasters, we have a supportive learning environment. So you have people who can help you, who can mentor you, who can show you the way. It's like if you have a seat, there will be people who can shower it, but you need to find them. You need to ask help from them. And last but not least, don't hesitate to remember your why and to share your voice. So first of all, make sure you understand your why, because your why will determine how much commitment that you will put into this speech contest journey. Knowing your why is not enough. You also need to understand the mechanics behind the speech contest. So I share with you a little bit about this judging sheets. So all you can see here is from the left, it's the International Speech Contest judging sheet. In the middle, it's table topic contest judging sheet. And also to the right is the speech evaluation contest judging sheet. Isn't it funny when people go into speech contests and they were like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do my best. I don't even know what the criteria is. Guys, things happen. I was like that too. So I wouldn't say that it was stupid. Sometimes things just happen. But now with it's digital now, every information is accessible. So you should know what you are gonna be judged on. This is the only time that you can get competitive in Toastmasters. It's competition.
Beberapa jam setelah vaksinasi itu pun harus diusut, gitu. Tetapi belum tentu berhubungan dengan vaksinasi.
Thank you. So let's move on and focus on the International Speech Contest Judging Sheet. What does it mean for speech development? 20 point. The way speaker put ideas together so the audience can understand them, structured around a purpose. When we give feedback and we said, okay, you should have a structured, your speech should have an opening, body, conclusion, this goes here. If there is no structure, if your speech is not structured around a purpose, it could be to inspire, to inform, to motivate, to entertain, to persuade. If your speech is not structured around a purpose, it won't be clear. The development of the speech will not be as smooth as it could be. Next, effectiveness is basically the audience reception of your speech. How does your speech come across to the audience? Will they feel inspired? Will they feel persuaded? Will they feel connected with you? So that goes to here. And then speech value is your originality, the ideas, the logic, original thoughts, something meaningful and original to the audience. If you remember Dhananjaya's I See Something in You, I think most of you have seen the speech back in when he won it back in 2014. He brings something original and meaningful to the audience that lasted for years even after that. And the next 3 points related with the delivery. Physical is appearance should reinforce the speech, which is like the way you dress, how you look in front of the camera, because this is online contest. Body language should support points, effective use of designated speaking area. In this case, your screen. Voice, flexibility, volume, it means that it's your voice, the sound that carries the message. It should be flexible, has a variety of rate and volume, clearly heard and easily understood. And manner, speak with enthusiasm and assurance, showing interest in audience and confidence in their reaction. So this is very important to have, good energy. It's easier to do it in person because when you transfer energy to your audience, you can receive energy back from them. But in online, there wasn't any exchange of energy like normal. So I think it adds a layer of challenge for us in speaking basically to the camera. Next, appropriateness is choice of words that relate to the speech purpose and to the particular audience hearing the speech. Will it be relatable? Will it be understandable? And what kind of words that can evoke emotion? And correctness is attention will be directed toward what the speaker says, not how it is said. So again, it's not about perfect English. It's mostly to help the audience to focus on what you say, not how it was said. So this is the judging sheet, just so you know. And this is second part. Speech crafting is where I want to spend more time because I think this is very important. So let me ask you a question. How do you usually write your speech? Can someone share in the chat room or chat box? How do you usually write your speech? Or maybe if you want to unmute, you can also. Reading from diary and turn it into a speech. Great. Start from the conclusion. Awesome. Personal experience. Yes. Point out idea and a message. Great. Message first. Brainstorm, drafting, look from experience. Awesome. Find one magic sentence, elaborate. Pathway sheet, outline worksheet. Yeah, great. Opening, closing. Okay. You can do anything that works best for you, but I can see a common similarities. And this is how I write my speech. It started with an idea, and then it developed into a story, or I find stories around that idea or message, and then I package it as a speech. Now, for a speech contest, international speech, it's very important to understand this. The main purpose is to inspire. It could be entertaining, it could be persuasive, but the main purpose is to inspire. How to turn idea to a message. Now, I give you some questions to prompt or to trigger you. How you, when you have an idea, how to turn that into a message. What was my biggest struggle? What has it taught me? What was my biggest success? How did I achieve it? What have I experienced that dramatically changed my life? What or who was my biggest motivation or inspiration, and why? If I could say something to change someone's life, what would I say? So these are like some prompts that can help you to turn your idea into message. One tip from me that I didn't put in the slide is, if possible, put your message into one sentence. For instance, last 2 years, my contest speech was about my father, and he inspired me to be kind. So my message was, at the end of the day, only kindness matters. So that was like one sentence message that I have. And from that, the speech got developed. Another thing that I would like to emphasize is use personal stories. Make it personal. I quoted from potentspeaking.com. He researched that from 2011 to 2017, out of 15 top 3 speeches, all but one told personal stories. So 14 of the winners told personal stories. Statistic and factual data almost non-existent. And among 33 stories inside of the speeches, only 2 featured third-party story. What does it mean? So for example, one speech has one full story from beginning until the end, or one speech can contain 2 or 3 insert or mini stories. Those stories that were used by the winners, among the 33 stories, there are only 2 featured third-party stories, meaning stories that are not them, they are not theirs. So they could probably get the stories from their friends or their neighbors, but they quoted it. So you can see that people, when you make it personal, people connected with you more, and your believability and relatability will increase. Now, how many stories? This is a research that I kind of, not research, but an analysis that I did. There are so many different things that you can pinpoint from that, but I just split it into 3. First is one story setting from beginning until the end. The example is Aaron's Beverly 2019 winning speeches, where he explained about when he went for an Indian wedding. From beginning until the end is just one story setting. And I put the YouTube link down there, so in case anyone wants to see it later. And second, you can also use progressive story in several stages. A good example is Ramona's 2018 winning speech. She divided her speech into 3 progressive stages: college, marriage, and speaking. And another thing, that stories under one specific theme, and the greatest example is Dhananjaya's winning speech. I see something in you. So I see something in you is the theme or the tagline that connected all the stories together, because his stories were kind of like different. First, it was when he was 17 and he got arrested, and then he worked in one of his father's friends' company, and after that, another thing as well in his marriage, I think. So stories under one specific theme is also one way to approach this. Now, this is what I like. you know the drill, you know the message, you know the story, you know how you can put different type of story together. But if you don't take them into ER, it won't mean nothing. ER here is not emergency room, but emotional roller coaster. Make them feel many different emotions in one speech. Intertwine humor within your speech, hit them hard with your message, and most importantly, in a speech contest, leave them feeling good. Now, speech delivery in online environment. As we all know, online setup is a different kind of challenge. I personally believe that this adds, not just layer, but layers of challenges, because we need to prepare our camera, we need to prepare our lighting, blah, 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 blah. But it's a good challenge, and we need to deal with it because this is what's going to happen. So in the normal speech contest, when you're talking about speech delivery, we're talking about power pose, from the waist, chest down, waist. In the online setup, the power pose is here, the upper part of your body, near the face. So it's like a different kind of rule to play. But we can prepare specifically for online contests, make sure that we have some checklists. So first is lighting and camera for visibility. Imagine if you have a great speech, if you have interesting content, but people cannot see you, they cannot see your facial expression, and that will reduce the impact, because people were kind of like thinking, oh yeah, this is great, but I don't know if she is sincere or not because I cannot see her. So lighting and camera setup is important for visibility. If you cannot show all of your body, it's not possible to stand, when you sit, at least you show upper half of your body, and make sure that, the second part, make sure that you have enough space for movement. Movement is important. If you cannot move your body from one point to another, just make sure there are like 3 short points for you to move within your speech. In the normal setting, we will say it is a timeline method. But in the online environment, I think it's just to show that the stories or the speech is progressing from one point to another. And most importantly, make sure that your gestures and expressions, eye contact, are visible. And audio support for clarity. This is what I recently experienced when I joined the Bahasa speech contest. My mic didn't work. It was not compatible with my laptop, so I couldn't use my mic. So I need to use this headset. While it helped give a great clear audio for the Zoom audience, but it truly limits my movement. There was one point when I spoke and I said, the flood wiped out the village. And when I move, this is what happened, literally. I smacked my laptop. It was almost at the end of the table. It was almost falling down. So thank God it didn't fall down. But, make sure that if you do have a headset like this, just pre-plan your movement and pre-plan your gesture. I was so passionate, blah, 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 blah. And then it moved like this. So yeah, learning from my mistake, people. But make sure you do use some audio support, whether it's the real mic or headset, and test it beforehand. Last, you can't go wrong with this strong signal for connectivity. What I did is, because at my house I don't have Wi-Fi, I used 2 providers, like 2 internet providers in my phone. So in case one drop off, I got another one to back up. Last but not least, make sure you look good. So ladies, if you need to put on your makeup to make you feel more confident, do it. Gentlemen, if you need to put on your best or favorite t-shirt, do it. Now, another tips for the delivery part is use your strength. What do I mean with this is if you have a great vocal tone, or if you have like a deeper, lower register voice, mostly for our men here, then use it to your own strength, because women, this is something that we probably don't have. And women, normally we are more expressive, so use that to our advantage as well. You know, the facial expression. Even you can do something like this. Play with your expression, play with your screen, find your best angle, and find your angle. When you write a speech, make sure you make note which part can you play. Maybe you vary the vocal pacing or vocal variety, you add gestures, you add expressions, you add pause. So when you finish your script and when you practice, you can make notes along the way. That's how I practice myself too. So overall, tips for international speech, there are many of them, but today I just wanted to emphasize on the speech crafting. The main purpose is to inspire. So develop your idea to message, make it personal, use your personal story. You can cook it yourself, how many stories you want in the speech. And most importantly, take them into ER or emotional roller coaster. And during practice, pay attention to where you can put in the signal for your hand gesture, vocal variety, body language, or any other form of delivery that can enhance your speech. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you for listening and for participating, everyone. Hope it's useful for you. Back to you, Pete.
Wow, thank you so much, Natalie. As you can tell, ladies and gentlemen, this is years of experience and from the knowledge she gathered over the years, but compressed into just 20 minutes. I'm sure she has a lot more to share, but I'm sorry we don't have all day to do this, okay? But if you're interested, Natalie is usually generous in sharing her knowledge, so you can PM her. All right, and then our next speaker is also amazing, right? Okay, our second educational speaker is based in Sydney, but I wouldn't know actually because it seems like she's everywhere. She's very prolific, for example, being the member of 5 different clubs in various countries, and has been a Toastmaster officer for several years and did really well at it. For example, she was the Area Director of the Year in 2015-2016, Division Director of the Year 2019-2020, and this year she is the District 70 Admin Manager. Apart from that, she has been invited to give educational sessions to many occasions, such as yesterday. If you visited or if you participated in yesterday's TLI, she was also one of the speakers. Now, please welcome our next speaker, Distinguished Toastmaster Alicia Curtis.
Thank you very much, Pipit. Could I get everyone to please put themselves on mute, because there is a lot of lagging with regards to the sound, and it happened yesterday, and trust me, it wasn't a pleasant experience at all. So I'm just going to share my screen. Just bear with me for a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Evaluation and Table Topics Workshop for 2021 with Bhinneka Toastmasters Club. Now, if you have any questions, and I'll put these in the chat box a little bit later after I've completed the workshop for you. So you'll receive the contest judges ballot, you'll also receive the contestants notes, and you'll also receive the table topics contest judges ballot as well. And I guess the purpose for this is understanding evaluations, understanding how to do evaluations, and elements of the judges ballot, because as Natalie pointed out in her presentation, if you don't read the judges ballot, please don't go in the contest, because that is how you win a contest, ladies and gentlemen. So the objectives for tonight: recognize the importance of evaluations and table topics for both members and the audience, how to use the contest judging ballot for evaluation and table topics, and contestants notes to work evaluations at the contest level from club through to the district level. All right, we'll start with the evaluation workshop. I just want to get in the chat box function, if you can just let me know how you feel about delivering evaluations at the moment. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Okay, if everyone could please respond, if you say good or bad, confident, hesitant. Okay, don't feel ashamed if you don't feel confident. Okay, I'm seeing a little bit of a mixed response here. Okay, so somewhere in between, hesitant, confident, okay, not too sure. Look, when we first start Toastmasters, it is a very stressful process in regards to doing evaluations. It's taken me I'm in Toastmasters 11 years this year, and I can tell you it still makes me very nervous to do an evaluation. So this is what Toastmasters believes evaluation is. It is quite wordy. I'm not going to read all of it. However, they believe it's the heart of the program. You observe the speeches and leadership roles of your fellow members and offer evaluations of their efforts. Then broken down into ask those that you've been assigned to evaluate what they'll be presenting and what they wish to achieve. Provide objective verbal and written evaluations for speakers. When giving an evaluation, offer praise as well as constructive criticism. I find that completely wordy. I find that also quite negative. Constructive criticism. We're not here to criticize the person. We're here to provide constructive feedback, which is positive so that the speaker can develop for the future and for their next speech. So this is my version, a much more, I guess, gentle version. So it's a gift. Evaluation is a gift to the speaker and the audience. When presenting the gift to the receiver, offer it with a purpose and the opportunity to be inspired, develop, and grow. That is what evaluation is. We don't need to have a big wordy compliment. Just briefly, it's a gift to the speaker and also the audience as a takeaway. So these are some tips for the evaluations. Now, in the contest, this doesn't apply, but this is for just general in regards to evaluation. Please review the speaker's purpose statement and discuss the objectives with the speaker. Ask the speaker what they want to get and achieve out of their speech, and also how they can improve. Contact the speaker at least 1 week prior to their speech, because you never know, in that week, something might change. Show that you are interested. Can I say this is really important in regards to delivering an evaluation? I see so many people, especially in these days, where they're looking at their phone and they're just completely engaged with their phone rather than identifying with the speaker. Your role is there to encourage the speaker. You're there to evaluate the speaker and their delivery. You're not there to evaluate based on the content. That's something that's personal to each speaker. So you're there to assist them and the audience for improving and the growth for the future. So if you look at the contest ballot, and we'll look at that a little bit further, a little bit later on, it's about the next speech, what you see today for the next speech. So focus entirely on the speaker in the presentation for the allocated time that they have, whether it be 5 to 7 minutes or 20 to 25 minutes. It depends on the speech. So remember that. Use of language. Now, this is also going to be very dependent on the country that you're from. So consider the use of language. Keep it personalized and base it on how you feel, what you see, and what you felt. Now, in Australia, we speak in the third person, and I will deliver a third person evaluation tonight because that is the way that I deliver evaluation. However, in Asia, first person is the one that is recognized and encouraged. I believe in Europe, it is also encouraged to speak in the first person. So I will speak in the third person and show you how to do that tonight, just as an example. Again, it's all about the value for the speaker and also making sure that you use those human emotions to connect with both the speaker and the audience. All right, so now we've got to promote self-esteem. So we've always got to encourage the speaker and remind them they are not there alone. Evaluations are meant to be inspirational and leave the speaker feeling empowered and challenged. Now, whenever you hear me do a general evaluation, you'll always notice I say, remove the words should, but, and however. These are negative connotations. Never use these in evaluation. You will set up a speaker with wonderful language, and then all of a sudden you'll go over into negative language if you use should, but, and however, and wipe out everything that was positive that you've delivered to the speaker. Now, these are some of the common techniques that are used in evaluation. There's 6 different methods. So the first one is the glove method. So it's gestures, language, organization, vocal variety, and eye contact. This is a very basic style of evaluation, and I would not recommend it in the evaluation contest. Reason why? You won't get through for everything. So that is one thing, but I have used it and I don't mind it at, say, a club level. The next one is one I really do not like, and I will explain why. Acronym letter method. An evaluator will create an acronym, and I will give an example of this on the speaker's presentation and use the different letters to symbolize their evaluation and emotion towards the presentation. An example of this would be, you are a star, S-T-A-R. You are super, you are tremendous, you are awesome, you are wonderful, or you're real. It doesn't sound effective. And also, if you went into a job interview or into a job, and I always think of evaluation as something related to the job. If you went into a job, into the interview process with the job, and you're getting feedback between management and yourself, imagine if you spoke like that. That's why I suggest the sandwich method. The purpose is commend, recommend, commend, or providing something that is positive, then looking at improvement, and then praise. So sandwich method is the best technique in regards to the evaluation contest. So this is the best way to deliver it. 2 points are you have an opening, 2 points of commendation, 2 points of recommendation, and then closing praise with a closing. And it's always 30 seconds between each of those. And I will show that a little bit later on. Next one is the augmented sandwich method, the 3-2-1 method. It's 3 points of positivity, 2 points of improvement, and 1 point of the speaker, what they did exceptional. This actually does win an evaluation contest because it ticks and marks all the boxes in regards to it. I'm not going to focus too much on the other two because these are more on the North American methods, chronological method, and the ground up method, but I will provide the slides later on. Now, what we should avoid in evaluations. This is the whitewash. You are such a great speaker, Natalie. I thought that was the most perfect speech that you delivered tonight. I'm really struggling here to provide you with a point for improvement. There is nothing delicious about that. It sounds ridiculous. So what I would suggest is looking at how we avoid that in the style of evaluations. The next one is, of course, the laundry list, where you just are negative, 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 and more negative. So it's all points for improvement. There is no praise on what the speaker has done well. And trust me, when I first started Toastmasters, this was one of the type of evaluations I received. And I left that club within a couple of weeks because all I got was negativity. And I was told, you are not good enough and you are useless. That is exactly what I was told. Imagine having that in your first couple of weeks in Toastmasters. Now, what we should avoid in evaluations, use of language, speaking in the first and second person. However, again, this applies only and it depends on what country you're from. So culturally, I would disagree with what I have written and say first person is okay for Asian countries and also for Europe. Cliche sentences, please note this. Tonight, I had the pleasure of evaluating. I look forward to hearing your next speech. We may not see that person ever again. That's just a tip. And tonight we all heard the same speech. Point for improvement. Please get that out of the vocab. I'm sick of hearing it. And what a great speech we heard tonight. Yes, we heard a good speech, but it might not be a great or a perfect speech. Just a few tips. Now, how do we feel about delivering an evaluation? Just in the chat box function. Feeling a bit better? Still the red line. Okay, better. Better. Okay, excellent. Better understanding. Excellent. All right, I'm going to move over to table topics and do this one quickly for us. So these are some tips, the first five tips that I have. And I've researched this. Now, I have been up to a division level at table topics, evaluation, humorous, and international. So I've been up there just before the cusp of it. So I always say these are some of the tips. Repeat the topic. It actually buys you some time. However, I would not recommend that at the district level because that is not going to get you the gold, the silver, or the bronze. The power pose. Now, Natalie brought that up in her particular topic with the speech contest. Table topics is not a question, it's a topic. look at it from a topic point of view and see if you can be topical and on topic with it. Read and listen more. This sounds really crazy, but I keep a diary every day and I write down different things in my diary so that I can use them and look if I'm going to Toastmasters that night and answer with one of those responses from my diary. I know it sounds crazy, but you might be able to somehow meander that into your speech or your table topic. Give the topic a twist. The best table topic speakers juxtapose the topic. They reverse the question. If it's meant to be a yes, they will actually go opposite and they'll say, no, I don't agree with the topic. The reason that they usually do that is because they know that that's a great strategy on winning. These are some additional tips. Now, the prep method, the point, reason, example, point, you give your point, you give your reason, you give an example of it, and you give your point. The Oreo, opinion, reason, example, opinion. So these are sort of timelines or structures. Past, present, and future. Express an opinion immediately at the beginning, like go straight into it. And having humor. Can I say, if you don't have humor in a table topic and you're very deadly serious, you probably won't win the contest. Humor is actually a key and a tip for winning a table topics contest. Robin, it's actually recommended. We do it here in Australia and it's quite common. Twist the topic and reverse it. And you've got to answer the actual topic itself, but you need to actually put the twist and juxtapose. So say the question might be, do you agree with having pineapple on pizza? Now, that was a question, a division contest a couple of years ago. Everyone said no, 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 except for the last person. They said yes. The person who said yes, who had a very wonderful answer, was the person who won because she was different. Yeah. So we're not going to have a 2-minute stretch break. There is absolutely no point for that. Now we're going to look at the judges' ballot because this is what I'm actually mainly used to training. So the evaluation contest judges' ballot is the most important thing. Can I say, if you don't read this, don't go in the contest because you are setting yourself up for failure as a contestant if you don't read the contest judges' ballot. We'll start with the first thing. So there's 4 parts to it. So that's the front part and the back part. Forget the front part at the moment. I always go to the back part. That's where I send all my mentees when I coach them. Go to the back part because that is the part where you need. The devil is in the detail, ladies and gentlemen. First part is the analytical quality. This is worth 40% of the 100 marks. This is the highest criteria. So it refers to the effectiveness of the evaluation, and I've underlined and highlighted where the most important parts are. Evaluations should carefully analyze the strengths and weaknesses. So this is where I say sandwich method: commend, recommend. And it's focusing on the speaker's presentation. Were the comments that the evaluator delivered clear and logical? The bottom part is the most important part. Did the evaluator identify specific strengths and weaknesses of the presentation? This is the most important part of the whole of the judges' ballot because this is where it says plural +1, strengths and weaknesses. You must have 2 of each. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is right there. It is black and white on this piece of paper. You must have a minimum of 2 each to be considered a live chance and a contestant in this particular contest. The recommendations are an important part of an evaluation. Evaluators should not only point out strengths and weaknesses, they should offer specific recommendations for improvement. Recommendations should be practical, helpful, positive, and they should enable the speaker to improve his or her next presentation. So as I said, next presentation. So I went back to the old part where I talked about the evaluations. It's always about the future. So offer specific recommendations. You need to demonstrate the recommendation. You need to explain the how, the why, the what, the where, and the when in the speech. And you need to do that 2 times at least. If you don't, you won't get first, second, or third. The technique, it's about being sensitive and thinking of the speaker and encouraging and inspiring. Again, future, not the current, not the past. If you've seen them before, it's for the next one. So to develop them for the future. So being sympathetic as well. And summation. This is the thing that cost me a ticket to the district final back in 2017 because I didn't have it. This will lose you a contest if you don't have the summation in. So you summarize, briefly summarize. So you wrap up, and usually you'll find people say, in conclusion, in summary, I'd now like to finalize the evaluation by. And it's about being encouraging and positive and leaving the speaker on a high. Again, the sandwich method would strongly apply for this. Now I'm just going to show you the contestants' notes because it's really important to see the contestants' notes. You will be provided these type of something similar. I've seen the new one. It's a little bit different format because you can type into it. And I'll show you how I structure it. Up the top, I always write the speaker's name. It's important to address the speaker. And it's also important to know the title of the speech because you may refer to that as a strength or weakness in the speech evaluation. This is how I break down an evaluation, and that's how I always carry myself when I evaluate. Strengths, glow or shining moments versus weaknesses, points for improvement or growth opportunities. There it is, really basic. I will just write little bits and pieces and I'll remember because I literally have photographic memory. However, for other people, they might struggle. So this is something I would strongly recommend if you're trying to do. So it's just literally a cross, plus, 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 minus, minus, just to say, you line yourself up. Down the bottom, purpose. In the International and the Humorous Speech Contest, you need to determine the point of one of the points is recommended and gives you is entertain, inform, persuade, and inspire based on the old Competent Communicator Manual. Can I say a tip? It really is important to use this as a road map to determine how the speaker is, what is their purpose of their speech, because trust me, you can set yourself up with a winning evaluation with this. Now, this is the judges ballot, particularly really important. This is a little bit longer, so this is 6 points, and I will go through that. So you've got the right-hand side, you've got the actual, sorry, that's the right-hand side because I'm on the opposite. Right-hand side is the judges ballot. We're going straight to the judges criteria. I don't look at the front page unless I'm actually in the judges room and doing the judging. So speech development, again, this is based on the content, so it's worth 30 marks. So it's the way that the speaker puts the ideas together so the audience can understand them. So this is where you need to have an opening, body, and conclusion. So what is around a purpose? Again, there it is. Is it there to inform, persuade, inspire, or entertain us? And the response is supported by illustrations, example facts, if appropriate, and is delivered smoothly. So you want to see good transitions in a table topic. All right, effectiveness, and this is worth 25 marks of the content. So in table topics, content is worth 55 marks. That is a lot of marking for the actual content itself. So it's about the subjective judgment of how the response came across. Were we able to determine here again, here is the purpose. Are we able to know what the purpose of this speech is? Did it relate directly to the question? So again, you've got to focus on, can I answer the question correctly? Or the topic correctly? Was the response clear and logical in presentation? Opening, body, conclusion, again, it's all there. And also we want to know the audience response. How did the audience respond to this topic? The physical, the delivery. Now, this is worth 15 marks and it's about, I guess, the speaker's appearance. Do they look professional? I want to see someone looking professional on the screen. I don't want to see them in the ugliest old shirt that they were outside playing or going to the gym in. It's about how you present yourself on the screen and the body language. Were we able to interpret the body language? Sometimes some people just use a gesture for every single word that they need to speak. It's not going to come across well and people will get marked down for that. So expressions, body positioning, and also how you use your virtual space effectively. And also making sure that you use your designated speaking area with absolute effect. The voice, the delivery, the voice. So it should be flexible, moving from one pitch level to another. So we want the 4 quadrants. So you want your highs, your lows, your varied tones, you want your low, you want your high. And this is what women do well. They've got really high voices. We want to make sure that we actually are able to use our vocal range if we are female. Men are better at the vocal range than us. We need to be able to be heard and clearly understood. So don't speak fast like I do. And the language. Now, this is the grammarian in me. So there are some tips with this. Language should promote clear and understanding of thoughts and should fit precisely for the occasion and the appropriateness across. Now, a lot of people say, don't say crap, don't say, language, don't say shit. But if it is appropriate for the actual topic itself, someone's relating to a grandfather and he was considered the old bastard, that is not inappropriate. That is actually appropriate how he is determined and is the way that is interpreted as the old man who was, the bastard. Just be mindful of this. Some people may take offense to it, but it's how it's delivered. Language and correctness. So language ensures that attention will be directed towards how the speaker and the use of how the words are pronounced. Now, given that English is a second language for a lot of us, English will be different and the words will be interpreted differently. So I always don't mark down when I'm judging in another country, because you may be trying to come across in the way that is notable for yourself. So be aware of that, and just if you think you're not pronouncing it right, maybe have it on Google and work out the pronunciation. That's a good tip for everyone. If you're trying to work out a word and you don't know how to say it, Google it and you can get to it. I'm not going to go to the Q&A session, but I will go for resources. So Evaluate to Motivate, Pathways Level 1, Part 2, Evaluation and Feedback, really good form to read. Giving Effective Feedback, Toastmasters International Module, Effective Evaluation, Toastmasters International Manual, the 2020-21 Toastmasters International Speech Contest Rulebook, and the contest kit, including the evaluation contest, judges ballot, and the contestants note form. I can't stress the importance of reading the judges ballot for both the table topics and the evaluation. And this is what I'll leave everyone with. Evaluation is a gift to the speaker and the audience. Give your gift to the receiver with a purpose. For this purpose will provide an opportunity for the receiver to continue to develop and grow. That is what evaluation is. Thank you all for having me here today. I'll hand over to Pipit.
Wow, thank you so much. Alicia, I've been in Toastmasters for 10 years, but some of the tips that you actually delivered today, I haven't heard about it before. So it's really original and very insightful. Thank you so much. However, we will go to table topic session after this. And then this is a great opportunity because Alicia, by the end of this table topic session, will give you a direct feedback. What can be improved from your performance, okay? However, we only have 4 slots for this table topic session, and I have made a choice. So the first, oh, sorry, Natali gave me a sign. It's time for photo. Okay, photo. Thank you, Natali. All right, so Robin, are you here? Robin's computer froze earlier, but is he here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, can you take photo of us?
Yes.
Yes. People, please turn on your camera. We'll take group photo. 2 pages, yeah?
Yeah, I have 2 pages. Right, so everybody turn on your video so that we can see your beautiful faces and handsome faces. Okay, I don't have everybody here. Okay, if I'm going to take picture now, if nobody wants to turn on, counting 1, 2, 3, nobody. Okay, so I will just do it. Ready, smile, first page, 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, second page now. Okay, ready, 1, 2, 3, go. All right, so now let's take like a fun and crazy picture for everybody to know that you have fun today. All right, so ready, first page. Ready, 1, 2, 3, here we go. And let's go for the second page.
I'm just copying whatever Alicia is doing.
Okay. All right, so that's it. Thank you very much. Back to you, Pipit.
Thank you so much, Robin. Now we resume to our table topic sessions. And without further ado, let me call the first speaker, Desi. Desi, are you here?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you. Please turn on your camera. Oh, yeah, you are. You have. Okay, great. So this is question for Desi. Okay. Contests bring out the best or the worst in people. Do you agree or disagree? Contests bring out the best or the worst in people. Do you agree or disagree? With the word of the day, motivation.
Okay. So contest. I've been through so many contests, and I think I agree with the first opinion. I think that contests bring the best of people. Why? Because in my own experience, at first when I joined the debate, I didn't know anything about debate, right? And then after a few battle, I say battle because I had no idea what is debate. And then on the process, I learned so many things that debate is not just about agree or disagree, right? And the first lesson was in debate, actually, we agree to disagree. And by the time I learned that, oh, so actually I can do debate. From debate, I can see the everything from the different perspective. It's not just about when I say when the motion is different from my point of view, but I have to take side of this motion, so I have to bring the perspective into it. So when I was in the worst motion, I said, oh, this is horrible, I have to agree with this motion. And at the time I think that, okay, let me do the best. So at the time I think that, okay, the idea is not taking the worst about this motion, but you think that the best of this motion, because everything has two sides, the good and the bad. But we don't have to be on the bad side or the good side. We just have to be able to see everything. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Desi Eva. I really can relate to that. We both are debaters and nothing personal in debate, right? Okay, now let's call our second speaker, Imelda. Are you ready, Imelda?
Okay.
I will spotlight Imelda. Okay, this is question for Imelda. Have you ever joined a contest or a competition when you were a kid? Tell us about your experience. Have you ever joined a contest or a competition when you were a kid? Tell us about your experience. Word of the day, motivation. Imelda.
Okay. Dear fellow Toastmasters, whether I have attended a contest or a competition, well, as far as I know, I think I've never joined any contest. When I heard that there is a table topic contest in the Toastmasters, so I think I would like to try, and I think when I do the contest, I will practice, and I think I can practice organize my thinking, because I think it is very challenging when you are doing the impromptu speaking, because well, it is like how to organize your mind about the topic. So I would like to try, and yeah, I would like to practice how to organize it. So I think, yeah, I think if I can like go back to my older time, I would like to join a lot of contests, because I think it good for us to improve. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Imelda. Now, the next contestant, or not contestant, the next table topic speaker, yeah, we're not contest yet. If somebody has the same shirt color with Imelda. So I spot Marindra. So Marindra, let's go. Are you okay? Are you?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Okay. Although I
My
heard
voice clear
somebody screaming in
over
the
there?
background. But okay, so this is the prompt for you. You cannot learn anything from winning, but you can learn a lot from losing. You cannot learn anything from winning, but you can learn a lot from losing. Word of the day, motivation. Arindra.
I can learn a lot from losing. I lose a lot. Well, when I was young, I joined a choir competitions in junior high school. I lost, but I got up and never wake up, never worry about being lost. And then I fall in love to girls. I get crossed and I telling her my feelings when I got rejected. So I lose again. And senior high school, I joined competitions of Taekwondo. Well, it's national base and I lost again. I just woke up. And then university, I joined two, two contests, which is very big. First is a festivals choir among the universities of Indonesia. Well, my team lost again. And I also joined the contest of Taekwondo for national, and I lost again. And I joined international varsities English debate representing ITS Surabaya. Well, I lost again. Ladies and gentlemen, I lost many times. Lost many times, and I had a songs for myself. I get knocked down, but I get up again. Something like that. I just get knocked down like many times, but I just get up again, get up again, get up again. At the end of the story, ladies and gentlemen, if you got knocked down yourself by other people or whoever, just get up again. Get up again, get up again, get up again, get up again, until God never let you get up. Just get up again. Ladies and gentlemen, I conclude my speech.
Thank you. Actually, I'm sitting down right now, but I feel like I want to get up after listening to that. But I cannot, I'm wearing shorts. Okay, and I noticed it was from a song, right? Chamba Wamba. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna get me down. Okay. All right, our last, probably not last speaker because we probably still have time. But I want to give a turn to Fifi because she wants to join our club contest. So, and then Natali has volunteered to be her timer. So Natali, are you ready? Okay, I will add the spotlight and then.
First of
Yes.
all, I want to check my voice. Is it clear?
Can
That's
you bump amplify it? Speak louder.
How about now?
Okay, kind of. Yes, but we can hear you. Okay, prompt for Fifi. The best prize you get from a contest is the experience. The best prize you get from a contest is the experience. Agree or disagree? Word of the day, motivation. Fifi.
My fellow Toastmasters, I joined the Toastmaster speech contest before, and yes, I agree the best prize that I get is my experience to join the contest where not only I can practice and express my speech at that time, but also I can learn from the others. It is important to learn from the others because you need the input, right, from the other people how to present for your next project. So my fellow Toastmaster, during the contest, it bring me valuable experience, not only for myself, but also for other people, because at that time, other people can also hear or listen to my story. So my fellow Toastmaster, the prize that we get from the contest is absolutely experience, where it is valuable for your future speech. Thank you very much. Back to Toastmaster.
Wait, is it already green?
Already
Just now?
already green in my timer here.
Oh, okay.
It's 1 minute, 1 second.
Oh, okay. Now, Fifi, next time, don't be that stingy, okay? With your ideas, share more ideas with us, please. Okay. Now, we still have time for one more speaker, and Buni volunteered earlier. So, Buni, are you ready? Yes? Okay, and then the timer will go back to Fifi. This is the question for Buni. Have you ever felt disappointed from losing in a contest or a competition? How did you pick yourself up? Have you ever felt disappointed from losing in a contest or a competition? How did you pick yourself up? Word of the day, motivation. Buni.
I remember on a bright sunny day when it is like ice cream weather, I'm scheduled to participate in a singing competition. I was trained by my school teacher 2 weeks ago to sing a song, to present a song, which I need to give gesture of the flower. It's flower song. So when I sing the song, I should do flower like this and do flower like this. On the day itself, when I walk up the stage, I have no idea that there is gonna be so many audiences. All the parents that I have never seen before. When we practiced in the classroom, there was just the teacher and me and my classmate. But when I went up the stage, they are all strangers and there are so many of them, more than 100. I don't know how many. It's so scary for me. I was stunned. And I stood there for maybe 1 minute. There's not even a tone out of my mouth. And then my teacher was like, and then I started to sing with my entire body straight. No gesture, no flowers come out. I just sing the entire song, finish, and then I just stop. And then I walk like a robot down to the stage, off the stage. And then my teacher, she was shaking her head. She was like, this is so disappointing. I have taught you so well. And this is what you're going to do to our class. You have put so much shame to our class. You're supposed to represent our class. I shouldn't have selected you. And that is that kind of feedback and that kind of traumatic first time competition experience for a 7-year-old. It has been so traumatic that I would never take part in any competitions. Until so many years now that I joined Toastmaster, never have I imagined that I will try to participate again in a competition. So thank you, Toastmaster. This is how I pick myself up, actually, with the help of Toastmaster. Back to you.
Wow, thank you so much, Buni. I'm a teacher, so I feel sensitive about that. There's no way somebody who wants to be a teacher and then have nothing better to do than demotivating the student. Okay, this is very no. Right, and then we have our speaker, educational speaker, Alicia. Wait, let me spotlight her. Okay, Alicia will give the feedback to our table topic speakers. So please, everybody else also listen carefully because we get a lot of lessons from this. Please.
Thank you,
Alicia.
Pippa. Thank you so much. So the first topic was contests bring out the best or worst in people, and that was given to Desi. Now, what I really liked with Desi was that she immediately agreed with the topic. She said, yes, I do agree that it brings out the best in people. Then she shared emotional story, a really personal, emotive account of exactly why it actually was something that she agreed with. What I noticed with Desi was the eyes were going right up here. They were not looking into that lovely green dot. So what I recommend to people is always carry Mr. Buzz Lightyear, if you have a Mr. Buzz Lightyear, or some sort of visual behind. I actually have a lineup of stuffed toys behind me so that I look directly into the camera, because it's all about the eye contact. And as I said, physical is an emotional part of this experience. We're lacking with the interpersonal product here at the moment, but having some way of being able to deliver into the eye contact will enhance this presentation further. I really like the way that Desi used the emotional language to paint the picture and the scene of why contest meant a lot to her and brought out the best in her as a speaker. So congratulations, Desi. The second speaker was, I'm just can't remember who the second speaker was. Have you ever joined a contest as a kid? And the person who was the second speaker? Sorry, I have Imelda. Okay, so thank you, Imelda. And Imelda had never joined a contest as a kid, so she was quite direct in regard to that. And what I would suggest for Imelda would be, she started off with an R. In a contest, we want to make sure that we have a pause before we go into the contest or when we're doing table topics. Remember, a contest starts from the moment that you are at the side of the stage or at the moment you're ready to start your presentation, your evaluation or table topics. Take a pause. If it takes you 5 to 10 seconds to get yourself in place, then start once you feel that you are ready, because we don't want to start with an hour, because you will look at the judges will look at the ballots to see if they can bring this down. So I would suggest having that 5 to 10 seconds of thought pattern to allow yourself that moment and then go straight into the table topic. But Imelda really gave a wonderful story about wanting to have a go, especially in the table topics contest for 2021 for Bhinneka. So congratulations, Imelda, for being positive and using, she actually juxtaposed, so I've never been, so she was a bit, okay, I've never done it. However, I am going to do it. So I thought that was quite positive how she reversed it at the end. The third speaker was Marendra, I think it was Marendra Dika,
Yes.
and learning from losing. I love the story about the music choir and the competition and how Marendra used that as the basis and as the symbol for his particular speech. So I thought that was really good. Now, he did use gestures, some gestures. I want to see a bit more animation with the gestures because Marendra has this magic touch of having humor in his speeches. If he matches the gestures, that will bring the story to life even further. He also used the technique of repetition and also triads. I lost again, I lost again, I lost again. Really clever in a table topics contest because the judges will be loving that, for example. And then to top it off, he sung Chumbawamba, the 1990s song that some of us are sitting here and going, yes, we're going to sit here on YouTube and we're going to listen to it for the rest of the night. So congratulations, Marendra. I think that was a perfect example of someone who has come back to Toastmasters after quite a long absence. So thank you for that. Now, the second last speaker was Fifi. The best prize is experience. Now, she agreed with the topic. The best part was the prize. And she started to get into the story and I was like, oh, wow, this is awesome. Then all of a sudden, boom, it stopped just within, as we we're starting to get to know Fifi. I want to see Fifi expand that story. Why? How did she get there? What was the lesson that she learned from the experience? Because that is it. We want to know the lesson. How did you get there? What did you do? You have almost a minute and a half to play with Fifi. Once you get to that minute, expand the story and add a little bit of humor. And then you will definitely, that would be a top 3 performance if you get there, because what Fifi did at the end was the point, reason, example, point. She actually tied. She was the only one who actually tied the whole speech at the end with the opening and then closed it. So she opened the loop and then she closed the loop. So very clever. And our final speaker tonight was Vuni from Assam over in Kuching. Now, Vuni for me was the highlight, and I don't like to say the standout, but I'm looking at it from a contest point of view. Vuni was the standout. Now, she is the most experienced of the speakers here tonight. Have you ever felt disappointed in losing a contest? What Vuni did creatively at the beginning was she opened with a word picture. On a bright, sunny day. Wow. The emotional language that she has used and to interpret and come across. So bright, so I can think of the bright, beautiful, sunny day. So she's actually allowed us to get our sensory and get in touch with our sensory emotions. Really clever in regards to table topics. What I noticed with Vuni was she went straight in like everyone else, went straight into the question. We want a bit of time to really get you to absorb that moment on the stage. And there was also a point with regards to the different voices for the teacher. I would have liked to see an older person's voice and having that connection or that dialogue on the stage. It can be done because Vuni is very experienced in regards to table topics. What I noticed, great storytelling from Vuni. It actually was a journey that we had from start to finish. And she was the only one that actually used the gestures here in the screen. So congratulations, Vuni. So for me, if I was to rate this from 1 to 3, Vuni would be the winner. Second would be Marendra. And third would definitely be our first speaker, Desi. That is how I would rate it based on the table topics judging format. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. There are so many angles we can evaluate from table topics, right? Me, myself, sometimes, how do I evaluate these people? So this is a lot of ideas how to evaluate table topic and also what to improve from our performance. Thank you so much, Alicia. And then our next session is practicing to evaluate, right? Because Alicia has delivered her tips about how to evaluate in the best way possible. And then we have our test speaker today, who is Dian Fifi. However, we need 2 volunteers to evaluate her. So I got Robin, and then we need 1 more. So if you plan to join evaluation contest, let me know right now. So I can, Fifi. Okay, Fifi, yes, we'll have a go. I love the spirit. I love the motivation. All right, so today speaker is Dian Fifi. Will be evaluated by Robin and also Fifi Avalyawati. And by the end of these 2 performance in evaluation, Alicia will give feedback to these 2 evaluators. Okay. However, I would like to introduce our first speaker first. So our first speaker will deliver her first project in Toastmasters, which is Icebreaker. Her name is Dian Marifianti, but I usually call her Fifi. And then the speech title is My Life as Dian. The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Please welcome Dian Marifianti with the speech My Life as Dian.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster. If I'm gonna tell a real story, I'm gonna start with my name. Same name, but different story. Same person with different story. Fellow Toastmaster, my name is Dian Marifianti. Dian means light in Javanese language. However, my family calls me Fifi from Marifianti, so Fifi. I was born in Surabaya and I spent most of my life in Surabaya. After graduated from the university, I worked at a Kompas Gramedia Group. And in the beginning, I knew that my passion in education. When I was working at a Kompas Gramedia, I had an idea to open school, starting with a daycare in Kendang Sari Industry. In there, most of people work as a factory workers. Every day they work. If they don't, they will not get money. Also for the woman, they must support their husband by working. Thus, daycare will be helpful for them. A week after open, we only got 2 students. And then 6 months later, only 8 students. It was hard time because we were still learning how to run school with 8 students. And one of my family suggested me to close the school. And I said, no, the school is my passion. I never close my school. I also gave motivation to the teacher and caretaker. Just keep working with heart, teaching with heart, and we can get the result. Every child is special. Every child is blessed. 2 years later, we started to join competition. The competition has a meaning to make the student feel confident in front of the people. And they won 3rd place in singing competition and 1st place in the drawing competition. It was the first achievement. We were so proud because all of the contestants were from kindergarten. Only the Dian daycare from daycare. All of the contestants were from kindergarten. A year ago, the Education Department Surabaya offered to open playgroup and kindergarten. And the parents of students were very happy to hear that because they can send their children to the next level. However, unfortunately, because of the corona pandemic, we must close the school. And the sad things, some of the parents said, okay, Bunda, when you reopen your school, and they said, I have to send my children to the village, to the kampung. So most of their activity are watching TV and playing, not like in daycare. Yeah. Now I moved to Jakarta. Even my school already closed because of the pandemic. I'm sure that we will reopen, and I am still giving contribution to my school. Right now I am developing online lesson for the student, so the student never stop learning. Okay, that's a story about me as Dian. Thanks for my father name me Dian. Dian mean light. Light in my heart never stop my passion, especially in education. Remember, name has power. Back to the Tom.
Wow, thank you so much, Dian. And I really believe you. I think you're one of the brightest light in Surabaya. Right now in Jakarta, yeah, because you fight so hard for educating the little kids in daycare. And I share your sentiment because I'm a teacher and I haven't seen my students almost a year. So I feel so sad too. So I share your sentiment. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to invite our first evaluator. Robin, are you ready? Okay, let me change the spotlight first.
Actually, I'm not.
You're not?
Yeah, but anyways, let's try it. Let's try it. I was
Okay,
just...
you need like a minute of silence. Yeah. Let's just give Robin a minute of silence, okay?
Maybe.
All right, so
can I make a suggestion? Maybe give them 5 minutes per the speech contest rules, because they would be given 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, sure. So let's use these 5 minutes for Ben to talk about the contest, maybe instead of doing it in the end. Yeah. So I will remove the spotlight from Robin and add Ben in the spotlight.
All righty. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Pippet. Great job running through this. All right, everyone, there is 28 of us in here today. That is a fantastic crowd. I hope you have all got a lot of quality information from both distinguished Toastmaster Alicia Curtis and distinguished Toastmaster Natali Tjahjadi. Did I say it right? I got it? Boom! I have been working on that for 2 years, and it's finally got it.
Step for a man.
Just like any speech,
mankind.
table topic, or evaluations, practice makes perfect, but not always perfect practice makes perfect. So I just think about chai tea. Yes. But all right. So again, with any kind of competition, I know a lot of people aren't super competitive. And some of the questions I would answer, the table topic question I really would have liked is how do I handle losing? Well, ever since I was 5 years old, I've been on a team sport of some sort. Even as an adult in my late 20s, been on a team. And I have lost a lot in my life. And I've also won more so as an adult in adult team sports. I've won more. But losing to me is always the worst feeling in the world. And I never want to have it. And the only way to get rid of losing is two things. Either just quit completely or go out and try again. And with Toastmasters, by the way, competition is a little different because this is something that you're trying to do and get better at under pressure, right? Competition creates pressure. And when you go out for a job interview, that's going to cause a little stress and pressure. When you're having an evaluation, either quarterly, yearly evaluation from your boss, and they're asking you questions, being able to answer these questions confidently, all of that kind of stuff helps you with this. And the best part is that there is no fee to enter the competition. You already are part of it. You're in the club. You just have to get up there and try. And if you win, great. If you lose, who cares? you're going to learn. It's a meeting, right? You're going to hear evaluations that you can contribute to yourself. You're going to hear awesome table topics, right? You're going to be able to be inspired. It's just like a regular meeting that you're a part of. You just get judged. And, again, at the end of the day, it's not like this angry, like you're not going to get bloody. There's not going to be there might be a lot of sweat, hopefully not any blood. But the main point is that it's a great experience and it's fun. And guess what? You might actually win. And then if you win in the club, you get to go to the area and you practice and put some effort in that. You might win that. And then if you win that, you might win the division. And then anyways, you get the point. Competitions are great. You're already paying for it. So there's no any extra dues. You might get some trophies. You might get a couple. So you're going to get a certificate for, participation, which I don't know. I'm not going to talk about that, but it's still cool. You put it in your file and you put enough work into something, you might actually get to the top and be recognized. So I encourage all of you, you must think deep into yourself and say, hey, can I try? Let's get rid of this. Can I try? So here is the table topic. It's the 21st, right? The 21st table topics evaluations. The 28th is our club speech contest. The cool thing about this as well for Bhinneka Toastmasters is that all of you guys, just for showing up and signing up for the club, we're already good. There's no qualifiers because our club is so new that you don't have to even hit level 2. You already get a chance to do this. So you don't have to wait. You can get it done next month. Again, table topics, 2 minutes. Evaluation, 3 minutes. A speech, 5 to 7, and then you're done. You get high fives. Everyone's saying, great job. It's really cool. So please just try it. We got judges from South Korea, Malaysia, all over Indonesia, really quality people that are going to be volunteering their time for you. And of course, me too, because I'm the one putting it together. So yes, don't disappoint me. Awesome.
Ben, can you show the posters a little longer?
Sure. Yeah. I'll do that one more time. So here we go. Let me get this out of here.
So which contest is on 21st and which contest on 28th?
Yes, the 21st, again, is our table topic speech evaluation and table topics and speech evaluation contest. So you'll get a chance. You'll get one question. You get to talk for 2 minutes, and win or lose, you talk for 2 minutes. And then evaluation, we have a great speaker. It's a secret, but he or she is going to present with you a speech, and then you're going to evaluate that one at a time, and then you're done. 3 minutes. So 5 minutes of your, where people are watching you talk, that's all you got to do. And then the speech, of course, you can use any speech you want. Doesn't really matter. I mean, it has to be yours. Don't copy someone else's. That would be weird, and you get disqualified. But I encourage all of you, right? You came here, heard Natali, Alicia both give you great insight. Just sign up. No pressure, but do it. No pressure, though. Do it. Back to you, Pippet.
Thank you. No pressure, but do it, people. Do it, but no pressure, okay? So if you want to join the contest, just send a short message to Ben through WhatsApp. All right.
Yes,
and then
one more thing. I'll be putting the checklist. So all you got to do in our club level WhatsApp group, I'll put each category, table topics, speech, and evaluation, and you just put yourself 1, 2, 3, 4, and just fill your names in. Please do it. All right.
Okay. Thank you. No reason not to join. All right. So is Robin ready? Ready or not? Okay.
All right.
Okay, let me spotlight you first. Give me a second. And then our Natali will be the timer today.
Yes.
To replace Fifi.
Yes.
Yes. And then I will.
So who's the timer now?
Timer is Natali. I spotlight her.
All
Got
right.
it? Okay, please welcome our first test evaluator. I'm not sure how about it's called. But the first evaluator for DNTV is Robin. Please welcome Robin.
Thank you very much, Pipit. All right, so life, my life as Dian. That's a very great title. When I think of it, is like, what are you going to share with me today? I really love Diane's story today. She has delivered her first speech as a Toastmaster today. So let's give her a big, big round of applause. Good job. She had shared her story of what is the story of her name? The name that was given by her father. What was that again? Dian. And what does that mean? Light in Javanese language. I love that. I love that name itself in Javanese. And what I love about her speech today is it was personal, where she shared her struggle and people could connect with that story, and where she shared as well how she overcame that and people could relate to it. It was an inspiring story. What I love when she shared her story is she had a great voice. It was loud and clear. So good job on that. Now here is what I think you can improve on that. So as a speaker, whenever you share a personal story, I felt that in this story that you share, it was tuck, 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 a little bit rigid. So what I would suggest to you is to add some emotions into your story, in your personal story. For example, when you shared about it was a hard time, it was really a hard time, especially when you share about the school was going to close down, but you said no, it was a hard time for you, right? So when you say hard time, don't show your face as like, it was just a hard time. Show as it was hard time. Add some pauses into your speech, add some emotions to that. Another kind of emotions that you could add is when you share about a proud moment. So be proud. I felt so proud about it because you could feel that energy, you could feel that emotions, and people could connect with you. What I would say is that your story has a very good structure from beginning till the end. And another thing you could add on is your conclusion. Have a call of action. Like, what is a thing that we can learn in your story? Because I felt that your story has very good, it was very inspiring. But what is the lesson for us to take out of it? Overall, I think it was a very great story, isn't it? Story that is inspiring, story that we can learn from it. And fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, today, as to summarize, a story has to add some emotions into it. Once you add some emotions, you can create a total different, meaningful story. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Robin. Our first evaluator with only 5 minutes of preparation, but it was a splendid evaluation. Now I'd like to call our next challenger. Okay, not challenger, yeah? This is not a contest. This is practice. Okay, Vivi volunteered herself to be, oh wait, Vivi volunteered herself to be the evaluator, and I love initiative. Okay, all right, Vivi, 2 to 3 minutes.
My fellow Toastmaster, we have already listened to Toastmaster Dian Vivi for her first speech. Her speech title is My Life as Dian. She talked about herself, that she was born in Surabaya. After graduated in university, she worked at Gramedia. Then later, she talked about her professional life. I like about her speech because she described from her personal real life story about what happened to her, the journey of her life starting from graduation until now. During her speech, she can maintain her eye contact well with the audience. And although we are in the online meeting, I can see that her eyes always in the proper point. It's good. It means Dian Vivi aware how to maintain engagements with the audience. I like it because it's important to maintain the engagement so audience can interest to follow your story until the end. It's also a proof that Toastmaster Dian Vivi didn't show her nervous, although this is her first speech. Toastmaster Dian Vivi is able to show her comfort level and finish her speech smoothly within the proper time. So it's good. Now talking about your vocal variety. Please put audience attention. So you need to play around your vocal variety. For example, when you share the story, your school has to be closed during the COVID-19 or as the impact of COVID-19. You can explain it with the words such as, so my fellow Toastmaster, can you imagine how sad I am with this situation? This is important to support your statement. Bring us to the emotion that you feel. And for the closing speech, you mentioned that the name has power. You mentioned that the name was given by your father and explain the meaning. So it's good. So we know the name is come from your dad and what is the meaning of Dian Vivi. But your speech title is My Life as Dian. So it's a little bit confusing for the audience whether we need to remember the story of your life as Dian or your name.
Yeah.
Based on my evaluation, you can improve your vocal variety as well as intonation, and then better to make the closing speech because your title is Speech as Dian. So you make conclusion that such as my fellow Toastmaster, you can see from my speech, my life as Dian is ended like this one. Okay, thank you very much. Back to Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Fifi. From one Fifi to another, just now the evaluation also equally splendid. Now, before I call Alicia to give feedback to our evaluators, can I ask Natali to share the time for the evaluators?
Yep, it's already in the chat box. Robin 3:30 and then Fifi 3:09.
Okay, almost over time, but you're actually saved, Robin. All right, now I will give the spotlight to Alicia. Good.
All right, thank you very much, Pipit, for that. So I'll start with Robin, and then I'll go into Fifi, and then I might even showcase what I would have told Dian as a speaker myself and how I would deliver. So with Robin, he has used command, recommend, command. So he's used the sandwich method, which is, as I said, is the best technique in regards to evaluation contest. And he's started off with what he thought that the speaker did well versus how the speaker can improve. He wanted emotion in the story. He felt that the emotion was too rigid. So this was his recommendation to her. And he actually demonstrated. So if you saw on the screen, he actually demonstrated the recommendation. For example, he talked with pride and added a bit more influence into the speech and the vocal variety. He also showed the hard face and the emotion of the hard face. He encouraged the speaker to have a call to action at the end because we had this very rigid line of the speech and we didn't really have a focal point with the closing. So he wanted to leave the speaker advising her to please focus on the call to action, which all speeches really should have. Now, in regards to recommendation, there are 3 parts. So Robin started off with saying, it was a very great title. That's not good use of the English language. So we probably want to start off with maybe having in regards to, sorry, it was a very great title. I would suggest we're starting off with something quite inspirational. I would say for Fifi, not Fifi, for Dian. Dian's speech had a wonderful title which elaborated blah, 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 and then go into the opening so that we can understand why it was a great title and having a very great. So great in itself is strong without the use of very, because very and really are words that we don't like to use in the English language. Now, I noticed with the eye contact, he was actually going down here, then he was up, then he was here, then he was up. We need to have our screen or our paper as close to the green dot as possible so that we can actually have the eye contact. So I'm reading from the paper when I'm delivering the thing. So I'm like looking down and then up. So that is what I would suggest. And also remember to smile, because we're not here with RBF, which is resting bitch face. We are here with R resting smiling face. So we've always got to remember Hollywood smile, because we want to encourage the speaker and we also want to encourage the audience, and that will be pervaded across the screen with interpersonal communication. I love it, Natalie. That was a wonderful way of delivering. And looking at the summary, I noticed that he had commendation, commendation, recommendation, recommendation, and then all of a sudden we got to the final bit. We saw the red lights and then boom, the package of the end didn't really happen. So I would suggest having a look at the summary, cutting down the actual evaluation itself, opening 2 commendations, 2 recommendations, and then the close. And you usually find with the evaluators, it will be in summary, in conclusion. That would be what I would suggest, just so that you can bookend at the end. So congratulations, Robin. It was encouraging, and I'm sure Diane probably appreciated your evaluation tonight. So thank you. And also the timing, 3 minutes 30. If you're anything over 3 minutes 30, and depending on who the timers are, and it goes 3 minutes 30.22, you're out. So I just want to put that out there for everyone, because sometimes the timers, if they're very experienced, they will play the game. Just a tip. And now I'll go to Fifi. And what I like about Fifi, she actually looked at the title and she encouraged the speaker to use the title. She had storytelling and she used the storytelling emotional skills. Now, Fifi had wonderful eye contact. I saw Fifi's eyes literally for 95% of the time when she was delivering her evaluation. She had emotional impact and she focused on that within the speech. So I thought that was really a good job and well done to Fifi. Now, for challenges, I noticed that Fifi used the word but. We got into the beautiful content, then all of a sudden we go to the points for recommendation. But was the first word that came out. We need to get rid of the words however, but, and should, because they are not positive and they provide a negative connotation. So we've set up the speaker really well in regards to their speech, and then all of a sudden, bang, we've bridged over and we said but. How we use the words, I would suggest, is for the speaker to consider. The speaker may want to consider, Diane may want to elaborate further. It's how we bridge with that connection over. And I noticed there was no summary. You've lost 15 marks automatically. So if I was to judge this evaluation contest, Robin is the winner, Fifi is second. Just because there is no summary.
Thank you, Alicia. Do you want to try deliver the evaluation, or do you want to skip that part? It's up to you.
What do you guys want?
Do you guys want to see Alicia doing her evaluation?
Yes, of course. Please. Give the best. Give the best.
I think the voice of the people has shown itself, and they chose to chose for you to perform the evaluation speech. Thank you. And then timer, Fifi, ready, yeah?
All right, thank you. Diane is the name of Javanese for light, and the light was definitely shone here on the screen tonight. Who was inspired by Diane's story that she showcased about her love for children? Yes, I can see from the audience reaction that we were all inspired with the emotional story and journey that Diane put us on tonight and elaborated through the screen. What I loved about this speech was the storytelling skills and the nature that Diane delivered across the screen. You would have noticed that she emotionally connected with the story and showcased that on the screen with her beautiful, sincere face and her gestures, which matched and married her story overall. I felt that Diane was very believable tonight because she spoke from the heart. As I said, this was a journey, and it was magical to see her in her icebreaker with confidence, ooze and poise to deliver such a sincere message for all of us. We learned about the importance of Diane's name from the start and also at the end, and she really elaborated that further. So I thought that was magical in the way that she delivered that. I just thought that this overall package of storytelling was a wonderful way of opening up as a new speaker to, of course, Bhinneka Toastmasters. Now, for challenges and for growth opportunities, I believe that Diane was using some notes on the side. What I would suggest is for Diane to use some point of focal contact. As I always say, I carry Mr. Buzz Lightyear here at the side. Now, you won't be able to do this in a speech evaluation contest. However, you need to come up with a recommendation of how to connect with the audience. So what I would suggest with Diane is to have it on, if she's on a mobile phone or if she's on the screen, is to have like a piece of paper with a diamond cut over and put that over the top for the green hole so that she can keep the line of message or the line of the story, but still be able to look into the camera and keep that wonderful eye contact and vivid imagery of her on the screen. I noticed that Diane was not using a lot of gestures to focus on her speech. And I would love to see her be a little bit more creative with her gestures, especially when she talked about her father. I thought that if she had added a bit more emotion with the gestures, that would have brought the story to life even further. I noticed that there was not a lot of humor and pausing as well. So I would like to see when we're doing serious speeches, we want to have a bit of light and shade. So we want to have a bit of gray points and black points. So we want the seriousness, but we want to juxtapose and reverse that out with a bit of humor and adding that sprinkle of life. What Diane could do is add a bit of humor in regards to the children, having the little voices throughout the speech, and the pausing to really point in those wonderful points about her name, especially at the end where she could add with the call to action. Overall, I love the way that Diane is a light for all of us. She has wonderful storytelling skills, believable and very sincere on the stage. Just use of the notes and the gestures and adding humor and pause will enhance this speech further. Diane, you are definitely the light on the screen for all of us.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys have witnessed it, right? That evaluation is not just an evaluation, it's actually also a performance. And I think Alicia really showed it clearly to us. She was not just evaluating Dian PP, but she took us to a journey about, how Dian PP's story kind of evolved and what needs to be improved and what was already well developed, right? And then thank you so much, Alicia. And please remember, even an evaluation speech is still a performance. Thank you. All right. And then I think we are a little bit over time. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end. And I will give the control to Ben as our acting president.
All right. Fantastic. And again, thank you everyone for sticking around. That is fantastic. Because you know me, I'm all about time. And during a contest, you have to be about time as well. There's nothing wrong with a little bit going over, but except in the contest, if you do, you're out. So we need to have some certificates. Who has those? Pipit. Robin, my guy, the Zoom master. Can you hand out the certificates of achievements? All right.
Thank you so much, Alicia.
For Alicia Curtis, thank you for being our keynote speaker. And if you were there yesterday, you get to hear her twice, double the fun.
Thank
Robin?
you.
Okay, we have a picture with Alicia.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I will remove Ben. Sorry, I spotlight him. Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay.
Can you take the picture?
Multitasking here, guys. All right. Spotlight. Oh, okay.
Pipit, can you take the picture? Because I can't
Okay.
take.
1, 2, 3. Yes. Okay, let me copy and paste it. Got it?
Oh, all good?
Yes. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Right. So next one.
Okay.
And
Give me a
for our
second. Like I'm not used to do the spotlight thingy.
And our
Yay.
presidents. Appreciation.
Spotlight. All right. got
Natali
it.
Tjahjadi.
Okay, Natalie, pose.
Hi. Oh.
Give me a second. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Okay. All good. Done.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Pipit. Thank you, Alicia. And thank you, Natalie. And thank you, more importantly, to all, oh, get my face out of here. Holy smokes. All right. So thank you all for coming. And again, this is information that is not just going to help you during a contest, but throughout all of your Toastmaster journey and even outside of Toastmasters. Again, for me, my personal opinion is Toastmasters is a tool. You have a tool, don't just keep it in your shed. Go out and build something with it, right? So it's a lot of solid information. I want to thank all of our guests from everywhere. I would thank you individually, but we are 23 minutes over time. So I'm going to officially close this meeting. It's over. Done.
Okay,
thank you all.
Thank you.
Now, if you want to stay
We're
and
only
chit-chat for a
13
little bit,
minutes over time, but yes, see you next time, people.
23.
Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Natali.
All right.
Have fun in your contest.
And
Good
again,
luck.
Bhinneka members, go to the WhatsApp group and sign your name and compete.